Let's Spidey and eat, spoiler free.
Princess the Bear, today we're at Disney's Swolfen Resort, the Swan specifically. It's time to go back to
Il Mulino, New York.
Yes, because while we're on the topic of New York, we just saw Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that's your #1 choice for foodie infotainment. We thought we'd go ahead and talk about the movie while we eat food from New York. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Let's swing into some plates.
It's time to foodie and chill.
The bread service here at Il Mulino has something for everybody. You get two kinds of bread, and you get like a little side plate of things to put on the bread. It's like a mini charcuterie board. So you get the house focaccia bread, which is normally vegan, but it's actually got cheese baked into it, so none for the princess. It's a vegetarian bread, and on the bottom of that, you have a ciabatta, which is vegan as is. Don't worry, they did give her her own basket, so she doesn't have to be subjected to my contaminated bread. This is very much given something for everybody, just like Spider-Man. The movie itself has a bunch of everything for everyone, but I feel unlike most Spider-Man movies, this is definitely like a Spider-Man and equal parts Peter Parker story. So it's just like when you like people say there's a Batman movie and then there's a Bruce Wayne movie. The same sort of concept, but this is definitely something for everybody. A little bit of salami here, got a little bit of eggplant, which unfortunately has cheese baked into it, so they couldn't even make this one vegan for the princess. It's just, a meat and cheese topper with vegetables for me. All the food groups, I think. It's almost like a deconstructed New York slice of pizza. Fresh meat, the eggplant, actually really good. That's more like eggplant we cook at home. Straight mush, Parmesan cheese on top, a little bit of spice to it. Creeping. Not like hella spice. It's like a 0.5 out of 10 on the heat scale, but it's back there, like way back here. Tasty. For bread service, that's quite the surprise, especially like the side plate. They did have this last time we came here, but it's been a bit. We do like a surprise. I would give this a 3.75 out of 5 claws.
You may think by looking at the menu here at Il Mulino that you're forgotten as a vegan, much like Peter Parker is forgotten from all of his friends. But in fact, you're not forgotten. You get things too. So this is a beautiful ciabatta bread, and then I got balsamic. So I made myself a little balsamic with oil and some pepper. I like mine to have more balsamic than oil. That's just a preference thing. I don't think most people like that. That is an ideal little bread morsel for me. I absolutely love that. You get like the nice tang of the balsamic. The bread is nice and crispy. I would give it a 4 out of 5 breads. It is very good bread.
This nice house ciabatta, nice and crispy and classic, just like Spider-Man's new suit. I admit, in the movie, I wasn't sure I liked it. But as I think about it more, this movie is definitely more, I wouldn't go so far as to say gritty, but like the sheen, the shine, the Marvel, it's a toy look that you see in most MCU movies is definitely dialed way back here. Things have a lot more texture to them, just like the texture on this here ciabatta, and I like that. Go ahead and in for a little dip. You know what? In every movie, the drip is important. Crisp, clean, classic, that in-house feel, not the bag bread feel. I appreciate that. 4 out of 5 claws. Going appetizer style, trying something different. So easy to get into the usual doldrums of things. Like we go arancini, I go caprese, which are all great things. But just like Brand New Day, it's time for something brand new, something I haven't had before. So I went with the Melanzane ricotta, which is like thin shaved eggplant, rolled in ricotta cheese like a burrito, topped with more cheese, then surrounded by a vodka sauce, topped with a Parmesan crisp. So you basically have a cheesy eggplant burrito Italian style, and I'm not mad at that. You can see like the little pieces of ricotta peeking out. The vodka sauce made with real vodka, They stress that on the bottom. Looks tasty. Looks crispy. I'm ready. I think maybe putting the eggplant so thin, it's got a nice like char on the edges, so it doesn't feel like mush. It actually holds the ricotta really well. We've tried cooking eggplant at home, and maybe it's because like there's so much like water content in eggplant itself. It's very easy to turn that into mush. So the skill making this is where it holds the cheese and it sits in a sauce that doesn't disintegrate is excellent. It's like learning a new way to web swing. I would give this a 4 out of 5 claws. Vegetarians, cheeseheads, this one is definitely for you.
And now we've come to the salad portion of the video. Bear and I just have not steered away from salads at all. We're just salad people. We can't not salad. And so far, the gamble has been okay. Now, this is amazing. I have an incredible salad with ciabatta croutons, unique greens, which I totally respect, and then pickled onions, which are like my fave. Now, the rosemary vinaigrette that typically comes on this actually has dairy, so I got balsamic from my incredible waiter, and oil, and I put a little pepper on there too. And I do have pocket parm, but I wanted to just kind of try it without, and just give it the old friendly neighborhood salad bite. I think I gave it a little bit of a kick with the amount of pepper that I put on it, but I really enjoy it. I love the tang of the balsamic too. This balsamic is not like a basic one. It's definitely an aged balsamic. Very, very nice. I love the pickled onions. I love the croutons are like crispy versions of the bread that I already get to enjoy. So that's amazing. It's a nice little classic salad, very like classic Spider-Man. I think this salad fits in just like the movie fits in. It's like the next installment. It was very much in the feels though, so if you cry easily, you might want to bring some tissues. I would give this salad 3 out of 5 salads.
This wonderful surprise of the house salad, they were able to basically modify some things, give the princess a little bit of everything. Normally a house salad is nice and boring, but this has all the fixings. Much like Spider-Man, there are a lot of like cameos, but they're like meaningful cameos. They're not just like, here, let's pop up somebody in the background and not use them. Almost every character that appears in this movie has a purpose that sort of fuels the story. It's very character-driven in that way. They're very much on the theme of like rebirth and renewal and dealing with grief. And those themes are what drive the movie. Hopefully, the salad drives me. Some delicious olives in there that I stole from the princess. She's not going to miss those. Gives it a nice tangy flavor. Then make sure you appreciate the salad for what it is, and then a little bit of tart sour in there, because with the sweet must come the sour. Just like with great power must also come great responsibility. We didn't get that line in the movie again. Keep teasing us, but we need it. Salad is a need. Even just was just a surprise house salad. This is fairly decent. Lots of things. 4 out of 5 claws. So for the entree, we have the Fra Diavolo. It is a chicken dish, so Pollo Fra Diavolo. It's just sauteed chicken with sausage and then peppers in a spicy red sauce topped with veggies. You do get the option for parm and cracked pepper fresh at the table, but it's basically just a pile of meats with veggies and red sauce. A spicy red sauce, because you know what? We want to get to the meat of it. Just like the meat of the movie, I would say the actual standout star, other than Peter Parker or, Tom Holland, is an awesome performance. Sadie Sink's performance in this movie is not to be underestimated, because she is definitely much a major part of the story, but parallels Peter's story in the movie. So it works quite well as a sort of like ensemble piece. Hot, spicy, like Ned. I love the melting pot that is Walt Disney World because you get to compare a lot of different cultures and what they consider to be spicy. Mexican food, Spanish food, Indian food, whole different kind of spice than Italian food. This is spicy red sauce, but spicy as in we have a lot of seasonings that ratchet up the level of total spice, and not like we put straight chili oil in your food to try to see if steam will come out your ears. So while I'm getting a nice flavoring from the red sauce, a little bit of heat and like the red pepper, heat scale as far as spicy, maybe a 1.5 out of 10. The spice heads, you are going to be disappointed if you're going in expecting spicy, but I like the flavor that imparts. You're very much getting that red sauce and tomato base, the acidity of that with the peppers, and basically nice juicy meatballs and a nice sauteed juicy chicken. If you're looking for like a meat lover's platter without a pizza, this is definitely it. Chicken, tons of sausage, tons of flavor. I would say that that is feeling like the contents of the package are better than the whole, much like the movie was. I give this plate a solid 4 out of 5 claws. I'm still withholding my rating on the movie though, probably to the end of this video, but it's still really good. I like this plate. Now, if you need a little bit of extra something, I thought I would go ahead and stack some of this sausage and chicken on top of the extra bread we have. If you want like a little bit more grains in your food, since there's no pasta in this dish, go ahead and pile some of these peppers and everything else on here. A little like bread dipping, if you will. I feel as if using all the tools available to you on the table, such as the bread, the Parmesan and the pepper, very Spider-Man. I feel very much like a foodie hero. At this point, I don't think the bread increases the rating on the thing. I think it's still a solid 4. But use everything. There's no rules to dinner. Just like there's no rules. There's some rules in winning as a hero. A villain, I guess you don't have any rules. But as a hero, I guess there's a couple. I don't know where I'm going with that. Either way, it was a good movie. I think you should see it. As for the plate, still the same 4 out of 5 claw rating.
I feel like it's a little bit my fault, but then also a little bit of a miscommunication between the server and I, because I was trying to order a pasta with a marinara, but he suggested a spicy sauce with veggies, but I didn't think he meant just that and no pasta. So very much like how Peter Parker didn't really expect his situation with Doctor Strange to go the way that it did, I did not expect this to go the way that it did either. That's okay. We're going to do spicy, we're going to do veggies, and we're going to zhuzh it in different ways so that you can see what it's like. I mean, there's multiple items here that we made vegan, so much better than the last couple experiences that we've had. Cheers. I feel like a wimp because Bear rated his chicken spice so low, but like the veggies, I think, soak up the spice way more than when you have meat on the plate. So, like, this is rough. I need extras for this. I can't just eat this by itself. Unless you're a spice head, you need something with this. Pasta. Like, we could have ordered a side of pasta. Bear even offered when we got this because we were both, like, a little shocked. Even though it was a little weird to me because when I was questioning him, I was like, did you expect your dish to come with pasta? And he said no. But then he expected my dish to come with pasta, even though we ordered the same dish. So that confused me. But then when we talked about like the interaction with the server, then it made more sense because the server was suggesting a sauce when I wanted a pasta. And I think we were all confused all around. Either way, this is like a 3 out of 5 pasta, or not even pastas, vegetables. So vegetables on a plate.
As a sort of behind the scenes to ordering like modifications and things like off the menu, our experience is really no different than you guys. We don't have some secret in. We're just trying to like figure out our way, especially when they don't have anything like dedicated vegan on the menu, which they still don't have here. I'm glad they at least know their food well enough to know what they can have and what you can't have. But I was definitely thinking it was just going to be red sauce on pasta with veggies and not just veggies and red sauce with a little bit of spice. But, we commit to our mistakes. We have peppers, we have onions, we have broccoli. All the veggies the princess would love is just, that's the base. The base is the veggies and not the pasta. Much like Spider-Man running across a rooftop, the princess's is a lot spicier than mine, and I am running across my taste buds because that is a lot hotter than mine. That is like a 4 or 5 out of 10 on the heat scale. I feel like that is payback for saying that other cultures do higher spice levels because I'm feeling that one. That's less back of the throat, more front of the mouth, and I feel like my Spidey suit just got set on fire. Not that it happens in the movie, though. Spoiler free. I don't think he gets set on fire in this movie. Last movie he did, not in this one. Either way. The veggies are nice. It feels like a large side more than an entree. But I'm glad that it's an option if maybe you want a lighter fare. You're not feeling straight pasta. You can get this, obviously, with just the sauce and veggies. I don't hate it. It's a 3.5 out of 5 claws.
Due to the fact that we were trying this dish multiple ways, I brought the pocket parm, but I'm only going to put it on my bite portion and maybe Bear's. I don't know if Bear is going to be doing this or making his own. So actually, he's probably going to make his own because I'm going to eat all this. Maybe this will improve the flavor. Though it is still spicy, it does improve the flavor. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5 spicy veggies. I still feel on fire a bit, just not as much.
We like a good topping. There's nothing wrong with carrying additional seasonings in your purse, your man purse, your pocket, backpack, whichever. Fanny pack. Pocket parm may not seem like much, but I definitely feel like it does augment the flavor. Get a bit of that like a Parmesan cheesiness without being actual Parmesan, of course. I would say that it helps elevate the plate to like maybe a 3.8. It does not at all stop the heat because it feels just as spicy as the last bite that I had. So my mouth is still on fire. Much like a Punisher's barrel after a firefight. That man was out of his league this whole movie. But he was entertaining, at the very least. We'll take that.
I grabbed some ciabatta bread that I put some balsamic on, and then I have some pocket parm of these spicy veg. So I wanted to put all of that on a bread and see how all of that goes together. Because I feel like this is a much better life choice than just the veggies by itself. Now that tastes like a pizza. That is a winning thing to do. Soak the ciabatta in the balsamic, then top it with the spicy veggies, with the pocket parm, or without, doesn't matter, and enjoy. And you have a nice balance of sweet and spicy, and it just works. 5 out of 5. Princess City's item. If you don't do pasta, do bread.
We find that both in Spider-Man and both in Light, things are always better together. Everybody lending a little bit of hand makes the entire load a little bit easier. The pocket parm, the bread, and then the spicy veggies with the sauce. That's still the same flavor, but that bread helps cut the spice in half. A much more manageable heat for you non-spice people, spice heads. You'll be fine. But that's a tasty dish. All in all, I think the rating's going to stay the same 3.8. But it's a serviceable dish, especially if you don't want something heavy as pasta.
Rosé all day. Who doesn't love a rosé? Cheers. They actually have quite a few vegan wines on the menu, so that's really exciting. This one is super tart, very fruity. Very light. It's going to go great with an appetizer. Not sure about an entree, but we'll see. Give it a 3.5 out of 5 rosés.
Got this nice El Salvatore as a cheers to the cast and crew of Spider-Man, because just like with our videos, these movie productions contain a lot of people working hard to give us a beautiful finished product, just like with us. Even though, we're the on-screen talent, there's lots of people behind the scenes that help us get these videos done. We have friends, our mutuals, the community themselves. You guys help us a lot with like going to get different ideas and different things, and you deserve to be appreciated just like the cast and crew. Even the people not on camera deserve to be appreciated for Spider-Man Brand New Day. So cheers to them with this whiskey old-fashioned. Really a difference. It's some fresh ingredients, just like fresh ideas will make something better. It's got a Bulliet whiskey lemon juice. It's got fresh lemon juice, not just like a sweet and sour. And the bitters, it is very fresh and actually very smooth, old-fashioned. None of the bite you normally get. I know the bite usually gives it some character, but I don't want to feel pain all the time. That's a Peter Parker thing. 4 out of 5 claws. Oh, that has been another excellent meal at El Mulino. Definitely better than the last time we came, I think. I think we feel some kind of way about the princess dish, but that's kind of our fault. We misunderstood. We should have asked more questions of the server when he offered that dish.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a $32 dish and it's the same price whether I get the chicken and sausage or not. So I didn't think that dish was worth the amount of money that we spent on it, and it should have definitely came with more things. And that is highly disappointing to me. So I don't think I can recommend. I'd rather go to like Roast Mexicano. I think that would be a better choice.
That's definitely the better of the options. We've seen that trend lately in like vegan food where it's either been the exact same price as my dish, or in some cases it's been more than what I've ordered. And for vegan food especially, even the vegetarian food, that don't make no sense.
No.
The ROI, return on investment for vegan food versus any sort of meat or protein, unless you're using an alt meat, is going to be very high. Even if it's going to be an elevated price because it's like a signature dining place, it definitely should not be as much as like a protein forward dish. Charging the same amount for chicken and sausage as you would vegetables is almost criminal.
And I feel like I had less vegetables on my plate than he did, or like my dish was at least like
it looked smaller
than his. So that was really disappointing just for the price alone. But the experience was nice and the bread was nice. I wish I could have gotten more bread. I think that would have helped with the situation, or if they had actually given us a pasta. As far as the movie goes, I think that was great.
Yeah. I definitely would be willing to give, I think obviously the movie, it feels like a rebuilding phase for Spider-Man. All of the MCU right now is going through like its own rebuilding phase, but I feel like Spider-Man is on its own course of rebuilding, sort of resetting the mythos of Spider-Man being that like ground level neighborhood movie. It's still got stakes, but it's definitely a lot more grounding and not like world-ending threat as like the previous Spider-Man were, which is fine. It works very well. It's like a Spider-Man, Peter Parker-driven story. And I think Sadie Sink, I won't spoil the character, was a very solid part of the movie.
There is one after credit scene. It is very short and leaves a lot of questions in my mind. So
it's very open. It's an end credit. There's no mid credit scene. It's at the very, very end.
So I guess tell us your spoiler-free opinions of Spider-Man in the comments, or tell us your opinions of Il Mulino in the comments. Either or, we want to know what you think of either things, one or both, whether or not you're going to see Spider-Man or not see Spider-Man or whatever. Do a flip.
Well, what's your rating on Spider-Man? What do you...
4 out of 5 spiders?
I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 claws. I think it's that good. I definitely think of all the Tom Holland movies, this is like either the best or tied for the best. I'm not giving my ranking here, that's for another video. But
okay.
I think it's that good. But we want to know what you guys think. As always, if there's anything else you could see us do, comments. Down there will be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, I think Bear might eat himself into a swan what are those?
Swan boat?
Yeah. One of those things.
I've never ridden one of those. That would be fun.
He'll just eat himself into it. So he'll probably like break it in as like he's torpedoing into it. It just goes pa-pa!
I mean, I've never like, trusted those things. I feel like you would get stuck. Like they don't feel reliable to me. That's why I've never ridden one.
I feel like you would just be like pa-pa!
You have no faith in me.
Ow, I don't know.
No karate chopping yourself. Go ahead and Stacy, okay? But you heard the girl.